What's up, you guys? Brad and Derek here with episode number 88 of A Brew for Two podcast. Getting ever so close to that magic number 100. I know it's been a while since we've done this because, Derek went away on vacation for 1 week.
Yes,
and
it was good. I needed it.
and so a lot of our content we have tonight is 3 weeks old. But still worth talking about because some of the stuff, like the first thing we're going to talk about tonight, is near and dear to my heart, and probably Derek's heart too, because when we were growing up as kids, he was a big influence of our life. But enough of that. What have we been up to lately, you ask? Not a whole lot. I recently got into some new games. I downloaded some new games, some old games, and something to do on my Xbox Series S. I downloaded Watch Dogs Legion. It's an okay game.
You weren't like hating it, but you definitely weren't having as much fun as you had with Valhalla. That's for sure.
Actually funny. Like a lot of people say they wanted an Assassin's Creed game that is based in present day.
Yeah,
that's basically Watch Dogs.
Yeah. Oh, pretty much. Yeah, because I mean, you're not an assassin, obviously, but you
work for a group called DedSect, which is kind of like the Brotherhood.
Yeah.
And like they have a side mission where they tie in Assassin's Creed into a side mission in that game.
Really?
Yeah. Because they tie it there because you're in London in Watch Dogs Legion. You're in London. So and they tie it. There's a side mission where like you go into some secret tomb.
Yeah.
And with the Assassin's Creed guy, and then you unlock and you see like a statue of Jacob and Evie Fry.
Yeah.
And another guy that I didn't really know, but I think it's the guy from. So they tie in. This game ties in with Assassin's Creed. I'm gonna get this mixed up because I always do. Unity.
Yeah. I don't know.
Unity or Syndicate? Which one is the one where you're in 1800s London?
Oh, that's Syndicate. Yeah.
Okay, so Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Yeah.
So,
Unity was the multiplayer one that was I want to say France.
But also Syndicate was also multiplayer.
Yeah. But Unity was one before that. That was the one that paved the way for their multiplayer that didn't work out, and they decided to do another game. Then that didn't work out. So, then they're like, back to single player.
So Watch Dogs Legion ties into Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Yeah.
Because they're both based in London, and they're both the same game company. So why not have some crossover there?
Yeah.
So there's literally a mission of you like taking out some guys, going into the secret tomb. You get the Assassin's Creed attire.
Yeah.
The robe they all wear, all the assassins wear and stuff, and they talk about the Brotherhood and stuff, and I think Black Flag is also tied in with that game too.
Oh, probably
because there's three people standing around a statue like in this tomb, and one is Jacob and Evie Fry from the Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Yeah. And
there's somebody else, but I don't know enough Assassin's Creed lore to know who that is. But like it's an awesome game, and this is what I think if Assassin's Creed ever did go present day, it would just be another Watch Dogs game.
I honestly I think just to excite a little bit, I think that because Watch Dogs is the way it is, I think that's why they haven't ever done a present day Assassin's Creed. Isn't the other games, like when you went back to being Desmond Miles and everything, it was present time, but you didn't really do much?
No. So
like Watch Dogs is definitely, if anybody wants to have a present day Assassin's Creed, just play Watch Dogs.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. But like along with like games always have their glitches.
Oh yeah.
And there's a glitch in Watch Dogs Legion that pisses me right off. And it's the auto save glitch.
Okay.
Where sometimes the game doesn't even save. Like you'll make 2 days of progress in the game, you will turn it off, and then turn it back on. Well, with the Xbox one started this with the
auto.
auto.
Yeah, you put it not to sleep, but it's I guess it is to sleep. I guess.
Yeah, it's the autoplay or whatever it's called.
Yeah, it keeps the game going and keeps it at the point you were at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the problem with it is it's okay. It's okay to do every once in a while.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you try to open a game, it will crash. It will reboot itself, and because it's just like tired, I guess, tired or something, it will crash. It will reboot itself.
It seems to be a lot of games lately. There's another game that just came out on PC. It's called Rift something. I had some friends playing it, and they were having that kind of same issue where, like, they would exit the game and it just wouldn't have saved, even though the autosave was working. They said it was working and never would have saved. And then the campaign would be completely screwed for them.
Yeah, like I lost like maybe a day, like 2 days, maybe a day and a half of progress.
That's a lot of time, though.
Yeah, like
especially for someone who doesn't play like crazy. Like you're not. I play for an hour here or there or whatever, but it's
like
not...
because I had the game cache in Watch Dogs is called ETO. Don't know exactly what it stands for.
I have no idea. I don't know.
But like, I had like
console.
$4,000 worth of like ETO of money in the game.
Okay.
And then it crashed on me.
Yeah.
Or no, I had to exit the game for some reason. I exited the game because I fucked up on a mission. So I'm just like, shit. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna quit the game and then go back into it.
You go back to a previous save or whatever.
Yeah. And it took me like all the way back to like 2 missions ago that I like just did.
Yeah.
And I was just like what the fuck? Like I just did this.
Yeah. There's been a lot of games though lately. A lot of games have been doing that, but they do eventually patch it out. So eventually it will be fine.
Maybe it will eventually get patched.
But like it had to been like they had to have they obviously do internal testing with games. So this had to have come up.
Yeah.
So it had to be something it's got to be something that it's gonna be an immediate patch probably.
Yeah.
But then Watch Dogs 2 isn't a new game.
No, it's not. Like it's been out
actually
for like
quite an old game.
It's been like out for like a year.
Yeah. So weird.
And then like also like some of like so you like in the game you get operatives. You get a majority amount of operatives. Like you can recruit other random people.
Yeah.
The recruiting part of the game, I'm not a big fan of because it gets repetitive. Like it's just like, help my buddy out at this place. I'm like, I just did this mission.
Yeah.
Like, and like it's.
I mean, like you said, like the people don't seem to be significant really because you just replace them all the time.
Yeah.
You said you had your favorite person and then they got replaced pretty soon after that, right?
Oh yeah, I had my favorite person because he was like, you get to select like 3 people and I selected this one guy named Owen.
Yeah.
And it's spelled the Gaelic way, and he was Irish, and I'm just like done. And he was like, he was one of the guys that actually had a weapon in the game. Like you have weapons in the game, but he actually had a gun because he was like, because it gives a description for each character, and it said for this description for this guy, he was a Black Ops former operative and stuff like that. Okay. I'm like, cool, and he actually has a gun. So I'm like, I'm gonna pick this guy, and I didn't. He died like
almost immediately kind of thing.
Like I kind of like got in trouble with the cops and and like I was doing a mission and I accidentally like set off an alarm and I got overrun by people.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and I died and I was devastated.
Yeah.
And the thing with this game is once your one guy dies, you have to switch your operative. So anyway, I eventually switched it to this. There's this guy I recruited in the game. He's a 60-year-old bare-knuckled fighter.
He's a bit old to be doing that, to be honest.
Yeah, no, and I'm like, okay, this guy's badass. I'm gonna pick him as my next favorite. And also, he died because I was doing a driving mission and the car exploded.
Okay.
That's
an unfortunate way to go.
But there's another glitch where if an operative dies and if you quit the game and go back in it, you'll be alive when you go back in.
Oh.
So
that's weird.
So I did that. And then all of a sudden like my operatives are like popping up again. Whereas it's like except the first one that died, except for the first one that died, but like my operatives that like I accidentally killed are popping up again where I'm just like odd. Like,
oh yeah, It definitely seems like something they would have known about because the game's been out long enough. So
Like,
I mean, honestly, it might just not get patched out because they might not just care about the game really.
Yeah, like
because I don't think it really did very well.
Yeah, no, like the one the old man who's a bare knuckle fighter, like I killed at least 3 times. He's died at least 3 times. 1 because of a car explosion, 2 because of like I just got killed in the game, and like 3 because also I just got killed in the game. Like it was just because I accidentally like hijacked a car, moved it backwards. I didn't realize what I was doing, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we've been hacked, and like a swarm of people came, and I died, and I was just like,
Jesus,
fuck. But like, yeah, he's come back like 3 times, and because like of these glitches, and like, and also sometimes when I'm playing the game, the music cuts out every once in a while, and it comes back on, like it keeps cutting out and stuff, and it's like, it's a decent game. If you're an Assassin's Creed fan, you would definitely like I played the first Watch Dogs and I loved it.
Yep.
But like, and I do like this one. It gives me stuff to do.
Luckily you have Game Pass, right? So you can play a bunch of other shit now.
Yeah,
if you want.
I speaking of Game Pass, I downloaded Back 4 Blood,
right.
Which is the spiritual sequel to Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, pretty much.
I enjoy it. What I don't like, you have to hit the villain. You have to hit the bad guys in a certain spot to kill them.
Yeah, there's that. From what I understand of this game, it's not a game. You can play it single player if you really want to, but it's not a game to be played single player at all. It's a multiplayer game, and that's how it has to be.
Yeah, like because I was trying to defeat this creature called an ogre.
Yeah.
And like when you're shooting at it, like there's kind of spots highlighted, and you have to hit those spots, and you can't just shoot at him because it won't take off any health.
Yeah.
You have to shoot at those certain spots. Which, like, if it was like a game like Doom is just like, when you're playing Doom, you just shoot at the guy and they die. Like, you don't have to hit them in specific spots, which is annoying. Because like, I'm not the best at first-person shooter games. Not the best. But, like, I'm not accurate when it comes to shooting at specific targets.
Well, a game that's supposed to be, like, a spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead, like, Left 4 Dead is not a precision game. Like, it's not... You just shoot to your heart's content. Like, you don't...
Yeah, like you can shoot you can shoot at the hordes all you want. Like the hordes are fine to shoot at because they die very easily.
Yeah.
It's just like the big fuckers that just like you have to shoot at a specific spot to take off health.
From all the reviews of the game I've seen, it's basically just been, don't play it single player, play it with other people. You'll have a lot of fun with it. If you play it single player, you're not gonna have fun with it. Yeah. Don't waste your money buying the game. Yeah, that's basically what they're. That's what all the reviews have been.
I'm glad it came out on Game Pass because I would not buy this game.
Yeah,
like I did purchase Watch Dogs Legion because it wasn't on Game Pass, and I did purchase again Red Dead Redemption 2 only because I wanted to play it again.
Yeah.
And it was like $40.
Well, it's a difference if you enjoy the game too, right? Like, Back 4 Blood is a game that just came out, literally just came out, like 2 days ago.
And like Red Dead Redemption 2, I repurchased that only because the Ultimate Edition with everything on it, like $40.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like, okay, like usually.
Yeah, which I don't think you had before.
I bought Red Dead. Amazon was having a sale for Red Dead Redemption 2, and I think it was just the...
Yeah, but you had bought the hard copy.
Yeah, I bought the hard copy.
Yeah.
And because I have the Xbox Series S,
anybody wondering why he bought another copy because he has the One S, which is just the...
Not the One S, the Xbox Series S.
The Series S, which is just the digital copy. It doesn't have a hard disk drive, so...
Yeah, it doesn't have a hard disk drive, so
which is stupid. Well, not stupid, but there should be a way to link the games you have to your account, so you don't have to buy them again.
Yeah, there should be a way.
It's only $40 for Red Dead, but it's still $40. Like,
yeah, but like and then I'm probably gonna start playing that game. But like, and the only reason I'm playing like these games because like really there hasn't, like right now games are slowly being released for the new consoles.
Yeah.
And we're getting them right now. So like that, until then I need something to do. So I'm like Watch Dogs Legion, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, games that I never thought I would ever play.
Yeah.
Because like I like the Assassin's Creed games, but am I a fan of the Assassin's Creed games? Not really. Kind of. I like them, but am I a diehard fan? No. Not a diehard fan.
You're not someone who's gonna play them all the time, right?
Like I've played the first one, played the second one, played Black Flag, like I played Valhalla, but like Valhalla was the only one I beat.
Yeah.
So because I literally had no other games to play.
Unfortunately, with consoles right now, there's not much going on.
No.
There's just games are being so slowly released, and the games that are being released are just not up to snuff to what they should be.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Especially with the new Halo coming out.
Yeah,
soon.
that's coming out in December.
It's already out technically. You can play the multiplayer.
Yeah, you can download. I know. Yeah, Halo Infinite multiplayer. You can play. You can download on Game Pass.
Yeah, so you can play the multiplayer, which looks like a lot of fun. But the actual campaign isn't out yet, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm pretty sure a bunch of people will.
Oh, 100%. YouTube and Twitch, 100%. It's gonna be crap. It's gonna be freaking Halo everywhere. That's all you're gonna see. Yeah,
a lot of Twitch streamers.
Well,
and then like also I've been watching a lot of TV too. Other than video games, TV. Kim's Convenience season 5 just came out. I just finished watching it today. And it's sad that they didn't go for another season, because like I watched the last episode of it, and it was kind of like they left some doors. They left like a couple doors open. Usually in series finales, they close all the doors, but they left some open, and it's only because they left some open because they didn't think that the showrunner was going to be like, yeah, I'm burnt out, I'm not going to do this show anymore. That's literally what happened to the cast of
I've never watched it. I've never watched the show, but
funny.
It seems very popular, so it doesn't make really sense that I see. Initially, I would have thought maybe because Buddy is playing Shang-Chi now. Maybe that one might have been why they decided to cancel the show. Like that's initially what I would think. But
he put out that tweet like after they canceled, I think.
Oh, okay.
After they canceled the show, he put out like, "Hey Marvel, I heard Shang-Chi's coming out. What up?" Like, I think he put out that tweet after he found out that like this is gonna be the last season of Kim's Convenience. Maybe.
No, it's good for him because he definitely landed a much better role, much better paying role.
Much better paying role, yeah. And like,
yeah, I guess not much better, but a much better paying role.
But like, also like. There's a thing about being on like a sitcom, which like is like there's a togetherness with being on a sitcom. Like there's a sort of camaraderie with that. Like
I mean, I think with the last like watching videos of the last table read of like Big Bang or How I Met Your Mother, like
Haley Cuoco when she started Big Bang Theory, she was only 21 years old.
Yeah.
And now she's like now she looks back at that and she's like, I can't believe I wore that stuff. Like I was only 21 years old when I started Big Bang Theory, and that show lasted for 12 seasons.
Yeah, but I think she also said that you can see Penny's not rise into modesty, but more her maturing over the seasons of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Not wearing booty shorts and tank tops all the time, wearing nice jeans and a t-shirt or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like 12. It's a show that would last like 12 years, and I would never think it would have lasted that long. Like How I Met Your Mother only lasted 9 years. And
8 good years. The 9th season was okay.
That 70 show only lasted 8 years. Actually, there's a continuity error with that 70 show.
Surprise me.
So that 70 show ran from 1990, I'm gonna say 7 I know it's not 1999, but I'm gonna say it ran from 1997 to 2006.
Okay.
And so, but the problem was that, so I never noticed this, but like, so at the end of the opening credits, they would end with the license plate. And if you look at the license plate sticker, it would always say what year that season is based in.
Okay.
I never really noticed it. I just thought was all around.
No, this is one of those little things they just kind of threw in there.
Yeah. So the show starts in 1977.
Yeah.
And the show ends on December 31st, 1979.
Yeah.
So the show takes place within
2 years. 77 and 79 is 2 years. Yeah.
Maybe then 76 to 79.
There's 3 years.
Yeah. Well, technically the show ends in 1980. Technically.
4 years.
Yeah. So, because I know there was a Star Wars episode in season 1. So maybe it was 77 to technically 1980. But the continuity error is how do you do a show that's 8 seasons but only lasts 4 years?
I don't know. I like that 70s show, but I was never a
no. And like
big fan of watching it.
How do you do like a Christmas episode each season when it like
but only have it actually going over 4 years, so it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, exactly. So like yeah. But yeah, so back to Kim's Convenience, where we got on this tangent because we were talking about sitcoms and the camaraderie of working on a sitcom. It's kind of like the actors kind of become family after a while.
Yeah.
And that was what Kim's Convenience was. And it's sad that in its Choi, the showrunner was just like, I'm done. I'm burnt out with this show. I don't want to do anymore. And everybody knows why, because the guy who plays Mr. Kim, just has a YouTube channel, and like the guy who plays Mr. Kim, big Star Wars nerd, like one of the biggest Star Wars nerds in Canada, and so big of a Star Wars nerd, he was on an episode of The Mandalorian.
Oh, nice.
They got him to, and like even though he does a Korean accent in Kim's Convenience, he's not. He's not.
Well, he's Canadian.
Well, he's Canadian. He's a Canadian actor. But he kind of sounds like you or me.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have that Korean accent.
Yeah.
He just has a very Canadian. He has a Canadian accent. So, but yeah, he's a big Star Wars nerd, and he said on his YouTube channel that he was kind of pissed off at Ines Choi for doing this. Just being like, yeah, we're done.
Well, it was a popular enough show. They probably got to win another 5 seasons.
But it was funny. It wasn't so. Kim's Convenience was kind of like Schitt's Creek. When Schitt's Creek first came out, it wasn't popular.
But
there was a streaming service that made it popular, and that was Netflix. Kim's Convenience became popular because of Netflix. And now like that show's done, and I'm kind of sad that show's done because like CBC has a lot of crappy shows. Every once in a while they have a gold show.
I wonder if maybe Netflix do the same thing that they did with the other shows too. Well, they'll pick it up and they'll continue doing it.
No, they won't.
You never know.
You never know, but I don't think they will. I don't think they will at all.
It's popular, so.
Also, I've been meaning to watch the Movies That Made Us season 3 or 4. I don't know what season.
I think it's 3.
Yeah, the Movies That Made Us has come. Season 3 has come out, and it's the Halloween edition of the Movies That Made Us. So it's like a horror movie edition. So it's just like Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Halloween, all those kind of movies that came out in like the 80s and 90s and kind of made horror a thing. Because it is in the month of October, and Halloween is just around the corner. It's only 2 weeks away. On a Sunday this year, which kind of sucks.
For you.
Not for me.
I'm off on Monday.
Well, I know. No, I just say it sucks because like I'm just thinking of the younger 20-year-olds that want to party on those nights. And it's like
that's their own problem.
yeah.
That's a them problem. That's
Like-
not an us problem.
Like it's just like Halloween though. It's always better on like a Friday night or Saturday night
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's like you like what are we doing this Friday or like what are we doing Saturday or like and then it's
the
just like
holidays been fucked up this year. I mean, New Year's Day was on a Tuesday this year.
yeah.
So like all the holidays have been screwed up this year.
Yeah.
Christmas was on a Wednesday, I think it was last year. Like so.
Yeah. You know what's messed up. Christmas is so kids are going to Christmas Eve this year for school because Christmas Eve is Friday and
Okay.
Christmas Day is a Saturday this year. So we're going to December 23rd.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I'm just like everybody at my work, including me, are going to December 20th. So the bright side of that is because we have that 2 weeks off, we start later in January now because of those 2 weeks off. Like we're like sometimes those 2 weeks just like fly by and it's like shit. Like
Yeah, then you go back to work and you're like, fuck.
But
I didn't do anything.
but like now because the December 24th is on a Friday, so we have like that whole week that
Yeah, because you guys go back to after New Year's. Usually it's around the 5th or 6th after New Year's,
it's
right?
2 weeks. It's a 2 week
So
break.
you're gonna have like almost 3 weeks.
Basically we're gonna have the Friday, Saturday, the Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and
Yeah.
we're gonna have that Boxing Days on a Sunday. We're gonna have the 26th to
Yeah, and then you guys, and then they won't go. Then won't go
the
back.
first.
Yeah,
26th
yeah.
to the first.
And then they won't go. And then you guys won't go back until after the next week because.
Yeah, so I think
New
the
Year's.
return to school date is January 8th.
Oh fuck, Jesus, that's nice. That's
Yeah,
nice. Good
so
for you
it's
guys.
gonna feel longer, but not actually be longer.
yeah.
No, it's other than video games and watching TVs. I organized my record shelf too. That's the thing because I'm into records.
He is.
Organized them by genre. So now you know. So my punk selection is in a certain spot. My 80s new waves is in a certain spot. My classic rock's in a certain spot, and everything's now in a certain spot, which is way easier to find stuff now.
Yeah.
What have you been up to?
Absolutely nothing. Playing a bit in New World. I got back from vacation last week, so I've just been working.
How's your New World going?
It's going.
Still playing
It's
it?
something to do every once in a while. Not as much as I was.
Yeah.
Maybe once a week. Not really playing it much. Got a new phone. Got new headphones. That's pretty much all I've been doing. I really been just getting back into the swing of being at work after being on vacation.
Oh yeah, it's always tough to get back into the swing of things.
Vacation's never long enough. Never long enough.
Never long enough.
Doesn't matter what you do. You could take a month off and you still go back to work and like that vacation wasn't long enough. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, I've been there. You almost need like a day. You almost need like a day or two before you go back to work.
Well, I
after
had
coming
that.
back
'Cause we were back on Saturday and then we still had Sunday, Monday before I went back to work at least.
Mm.
So, well, and my dad too. So it was still had Sunday, Monday, but like Saturday was pretty well a complete write off.
Yeah.
We got back in the morning. We did nothing all day because we were tired from driving 7 hours. You know, got to the app, didn't download the truck till the next day, and I came over here. I came over here Saturday. But even then, I was surprised I did because I was fucking exhausted. I slept pretty much all damn day. Yeah. So basically, I only had Sunday, Monday. I don't know.
Yeah.
Vacation sucks, but it's also great. Doesn't need it.
Yeah, no, I know. Our me and Derek's buddy Pete, he's taking vacation. He's taking staycation because his dad forced him. He works with his dad, and his dad forced him to take staycation.
Yeah, we used to work together, and it was always paid on our paychecks, and I guess that changed, and no one told Pete. So he said something like $4,500 of vacation pay saved up. So he's being forced to take this week off.
Yes. Other than that, that's pretty much wraps it up for us. We're gonna get into some news now. The news is when I usually get the news, it's usually like movie news and TV news. I've been kind of switching it up recently with the stuff we get because I've been also finding like interesting stuff online, like that that we can stretch out more.
Mhm.
Also, like before I just got reminded of something. Before that, there's some trailers that got released today.
Yeah.
Because DC's Fandom was going on, I believe.
Something like that.
So the Flash trailer. We got a first look at Black Adam.
Yeah.
Which was The Rock in the Black Adam suit with the hood up. Like you didn't really see, but it does seem like it's not gonna be like
he disintegrated a guy.
Yeah, so it's gonna be like The Rock will be playing a villain for the first time.
Yeah. And we got the Batman one, and you haven't watched it, obviously, right?
No.
They're definitely trying to make it a horror film. It's interesting.
Oh yeah, well they have the Riddler as the main villain.
Yeah.
And like
whom you don't see at all.
No?
In the trailer. They don't show who it is. At all. All you see is Batman, and you see whoever's playing Catwoman. And that's it.
That's Lenny Kravitz's daughter.
Yeah. Zoe Kravitz, I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, but like this one's more of a like if you really think about it, Batman is kind of a not like even though he's a hero.
Yeah.
He's a superhero that doesn't have any powers. But all his villains are weird. Like he's very much like a horror kind of guy.
Yeah.
He lurks in the night and beats up people. Like kind of horror-ish, wouldn't you say?
I know one thing on our list we could talk about. Just talk about it now. It's like William Shatner finally went into space.
Okay.
Well, let's just talk about it now because it's going to be a very short thing because it's interesting, but it's not like crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So William Shatner, the oldest man to go to space, he was 90 years old. William Shatner, who gained fame portraying Captain Kirk on the original Star Trek, he hitched a ride above a suborbital spacecraft that grazed the edge of the outer space before parachuting to a landing, making Shatner like the oldest person ever to go into space.
Yeah.
Shatner blasted off on board the New Shepard spacecraft, the one developed by Jeff Bezos, the one that looks like a penis.
Yeah.
With him, there were 3 crewmates: Chris, Bose Husen, I don't know how to pronounce that last name, a co-founder of satellite company Planet Labs, and a software executive, Glenn DeVries, I don't know how to pronounce that either, who were both paying customers, and Audrey Powers, Blue Origin's vice president of mission and flight operations. Shatner told Bezos, "What you have given me is the most profound experience, and I'm so filled with emotion, just extraordinary." Their trip did not go exactly as the interplanetary John Shatner captained during his acting career. New Shepard's flight lasted just 10 minutes from takeoff to landing, and gave passengers about 3 minutes of weightlessness. The group strapped into a capsule that sits top of the 60-foot tall New Shepard rocket Wednesday morning after a series of wind-related delays. At 9:51 a.m. Central Time, the rocket fired up its engines and roared past the speed of sound, vaulting the capsule up past the Kármán line, which at 62 miles high is one line used to demarcate. That's how I say that?
I have no idea.
The beginning of outer space. Shatner's new record as the oldest person to fly to space one-ups the record set just 3 months ago by 82-year-old Wally Funk, who was a former astronaut trainee but was previously denied the opportunity to fly before she joined Bezos' on July flight.
Yeah, that was cool. Shatner finally went into space.
Yeah, good for him. Captain Kirk in space.
Captain Kirk was actually in space now, so he can actually say he is a spaceman.
Yeah, he is a rocket man.
Dangerous, though, probably going up there at 82 years old, 83, 90 years old. So,
and this is like going to be the start slowly of. This is going to be the start slowly of the space tourism thing that's going to slowly happen.
Oh yeah, 100%.
people are going to pay a buttload of money to be in space. Like there was an HBO series that came out. I forget what it's called, but it's basically based in the future.
Yeah.
And like how people vacation on cruise ships.
Yeah.
Well, this show starred Hugh Laurie, Dr. House, and it was basically a show that he was a captain of a ship, but it wasn't any ship. He was a captain of a cruise ship that orbited Earth.
Oh, I know exactly. Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about. I watched a few episodes of it. It was a really dumb show.
Yeah, it was a really stupid show.
Really dumb show.
Really dumb show.
I only watched it because I kept seeing clips of it on. I think it might have been probably was TikTok. I probably kept seeing clips of it there. The Orville? I think it was called the Orville. No, that's something different. No, that's
Seth MacFarlane's show.
That was, I don't know what the hell it was. Anyways, it was a dumb show, but
yeah,
good for Shatner there.
Yeah, good for Shatner. Like, I mean, like this is obviously gonna spark more interest in space travel, and who knew like Jeff Bezos would be the one to be like, hey, anybody can go to space.
Well, this is how it starts, right?
Yeah, this is how it all starts.
Because originally, people when they got cars, it's only rich people who could get it.
Yeah.
Then eventually it became available to the masses. Same with air travel, anything.
Yeah, exactly. I actually have the Batman trailer on right now.
I do.
I have my laptop on mute,
yeah.
And I'm just viewing it without the sound, and it looks like a Batman movie.
Yep.
Looks like a Batman movie, and what they're doing with the Riddler, making him a serial killer, that's perfect.
Yeah, you have to listen to it with audio because it Pattinson tries to go into the same thing that every Batman has done, is try to disguise their voice.
Oh.
Yeah. So
get over it.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
So he tries to do a little deep. So he tries to do a little deeper of his actual voice. So it's
no.
Yeah, I was like, he started doing that. I'm like, can we just have one that just talks normally, please? Like,
well, we got also the Flash first look teaser trailer.
Yeah.
Which kind of gives the Flash justice that Justice League didn't.
No.
And like his suit looks better.
Did the same kid that was in the Justice League movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ezra Miller. His suit looks better. Like the movie kind of looks better because even though the DC extended universe has been shitting the bed recently,
hot garbage, yeah,
hot mess. They found their footing with like Wonder Woman and Shazam and Aquaman, so they're kind of taking their movies more seriously. And this one is going to be a Flashpoint movie. And it's going to have the parallel universes in it and the multiverse coined. Now they can't use the word multiverse because that's that's technically rights by. Wait, no, who beat who to it? DC beat Marvel to using the term multiverse.
Yeah, they're still using it anyways. So
Marvel uses the quantum verse. The quantum
Doctor
realm.
Strange multiverse of madness.
Okay, I guess
they're literally using the multiverse. It's not.
Oh, so who beat who?
I would assume what? DC would, because DC had it in Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah, no, DC had it in the Flash.
Yeah, the concept of it.
DC had it in the Flash.
Yeah, but you can't own the rights to saying something is a multiverse. That's not DC. DC definitely beat them to it, like to use that concept, but they don't own the rights to do it.
Marvel
can
still
do it,
but that's why
Marvel will do it better. So
yeah, that's why. Yeah, Marvel did it better because they kind of put the groundworks to it where.
Yeah, DC just kind of relied on.
We need to catch up to Marvel, so let's do everything all at once.
Yeah,
let's not create roots.
Yeah.
But we got the Flash movie's coming out with Ezra Miller back as the Flash. It looks like also the girl that played Iris West in the Zack Snyder's Justice League movie, she will be back. And Michael Keaton as Batman is going to be in it too. And he's going to be putting him back on the bat suit because it teased us him back in the bat suit.
Speaking of DC, real quick, fucking, I guess Johnny Depp is suing Amber Heard, and she's been she was kicked.
I heard about that.
And she was kicked out of Aquaman too.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So that's awesome. I hope he can get his roles back.
Yeah, no, Johnny Depp is an amazing actor.
Yeah,
he's done amazing things.
Yeah, kicked out of. That's why we're not gonna have a part. She's the reason we didn't have another Pirates of the Caribbean. Don't ruin this for me, okay? I love Pirates of the Caribbean.
No,
okay?
I love it. I love the movies too, but the movies series should have ended after 3.
Oh, they're horrible. I know. After Dead Man's Chest, it should have ended. 100%. I agree. However, they were still a lot of fun.
Yes. Everybody still had fun.
And them trying to replace him with Miles Mikkelsen and Fantastic Beasts is just.
I know.
Silly. But
it's just
anyways.
silly. Also, so I don't know how we never noticed this, but James Bond came out. The James Bond.
I noticed. Didn't care.
Oh, okay. But also Dune comes out next week.
Yeah, again, another one of those things where it's like, okay.
And by the way, I already bought tickets to the Eternals.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I got an email. I got an email from Cineplex being like, the Eternals tickets are now available, and I'm like,
okay.
And I was on break at work, and I'm like, okay. Yeah, no. So
when does that come out? November, something, isn't it?
November 5th. So
okay.
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Well, yeah. Because Halloween's 2 weeks this Sunday.
Yeah, it's the 16th today, so 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Or just over 3 weeks. Just almost 3 weeks. Yeah. Okay.
So
I'm excited for that.
You know what's a shame, and how me and you are doing this now, where it's like, if it's not Marvel, we're not seeing it.
It's a shame, but it's like there's nothing else really good coming out.
Like Dune, I would love to see Dune.
Dune wouldn't have been bad. I would have loved to have seen Free Guy in theaters.
Actually,
but it's on Prime, so.
Is it on Prime?
Yeah.
I saw it on my Xbox, on the Xbox store, and
it's on Prime.
Okay, log on to Prime and watch it.
You gotta buy it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's Premier Access, whatever the hell it is. So.
All right, I might have to go Premier Access it.
But it's on there. But I mean, there hasn't really been anything besides the Marvel movies that have come out that have actually, besides Dune, that have looked, decent, I guess.
Yeah, and with Dune, with Dune, I kind of want to see it because it's just a movie that's I don't want to be totally up Marvel's ass for their movies, but I totally am. But we totally are. But
yeah.
I miss seeing the other movies, which we don't see anymore because right now they're all trying to market to China, and China's very much.
Everything's got to be very specific.
That's why we have 10 Fast and Furious movies, because China still loves their Western heroes.
Oh yeah, they love. The hell's his name?
John Wayne.
Oh yeah, no, they love him.
Clint Eastwood.
No, but what's his name? John Cena.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. China's not a country. No.
Well, it's not, but no, it is. But
it is. But no, he said something else. He was yeah.
No, it's Taiwan. Yeah, Taiwan. He acknowledged Taiwan as a country, then had to apologize for it. So that's the world we live in.
Yeah, that's the world we live in. Yeah, no, it's I miss going to see the last probably non-Marvel movie, non-comic book movie I saw was that Mr. Rogers movie with Tom Hanks as Mr. Rogers.
Tenet.
Okay, Tenet.
We haven't seen Tenet last year.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Tenet
was the last one.
Yes. Now it's just if it's Marvel, if it's not Marvel, I'm not seeing it, which kind of shame.
It is, but it's got to be something that we actually really, really want to see.
And it's and Martin Scorsese kind of had a point where those Marvel movies aren't cinema. As much as I disagree with.
I don't know. Did you watch Endgame? It's pretty cinematic.
Yeah, I know. But as much as I kind of disagree with Martin Scorsese, he did have a point, because now now Hollywood is if it doesn't make $1 billion at the box office, we're not making it.
Yeah. I also think that also has to do with how much they pay actors now.
Yeah.
I understand they're gonna make some money off the movies, but why are you paying someone $100 million to act for 6 months?
Yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't. I don't know. People get paid too much money now, and that's why the movies got to make so much.
Yeah. Like I miss like the early 2000s, like comedy movies that came out, and like
comedy movies, the action movies, the dramas, the horror movies. Everything was there was a new movie coming out almost every week.
Yeah.
Like, and it was great.
Yeah.
Were they all good? No, but
No.
there was new shit to see all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Okay. Now we're gonna get into some news.
It's 45 minutes in.
Yeah. So our first bit, we already talked about William Shatner.
Yeah.
In space, so we can cross that one off the list.
Yeah.
But this one was a touching heart to me because I am an educator. I work in the education field, and this man's books are still on the shelves of school libraries today. A lot of them are, and we're talking about the author Robert Munsch. And like when you think of Robert Munsch, the first thing you think of Paper Bag Princess. And yeah,
maybe you do. I honestly can't say I've actually. I don't know if I've ever read any of these books.
And Mortimer, the kid that sang, well, that pissed his parents off because he would sing all the time, or like Love You Forever, the story of like this mom taking care of this kid, and then the kid grows up to take care of his mom. Like, that's a sweet story. Or like,
I can remember his French ones, like La Habit de Neige.
That was La Habit de Neige. That was somebody's snowsuit. Who was that snowsuit?
Thomas refuses to wear a snowsuit.
Yes. The Smelly Socks.
That's like the only
Smelly Socks book where the girl refuses to wash her socks.
Yeah, that's like the only one I could even. That's the only one I even remember from.
The Alligator Baby, when the girl accidentally like loses her baby sister at the zoo and like gets this alligator baby. There was like classic books. There was a Robert Munsch Moose book.
Yeah.
And then Andrew's Loose Tooth, where he's trying to like take out his tooth as much as possible. And a dentist literally drives his car, wraps the car around his tooth and drives, and nothing happens. And like many more. There was one that I forget. It kind of sticks out with me. Doom, that was another one. Cookies, Boo. There was one where it was a birthday party, and this girl's like, I'm gonna invite the kindergartners, the grade 1s, the grade 2s, the grade 3s, the grade 4s, the grade 5s, the grade 6s, the grades, and it's like, but you can, and it's like you can only invite and the parents are talking about the kid's grade, and it's like you can only invite this many kids, and then she orders like a bunch of pizzas, and like 100 pizza trucks drive by, and it was just kind of cool. I can't remember what that book is called, but I've seen it in the library, and I've seen it in the library a bunch of times. I've read it to a bunch of students of mine.
Yeah. These are books you might.
Moira's Birthday. Moira's Birthday by Robert Munsch, where she invites like the whole school, because like her mom's like, you can only invite like so many kids. She's like, and then she invites the whole school, and then she buys a bunch of pizzas. And the beauty thing about Robert Munsch books, you can actually see kids doing these things.
Yeah,
like it's not just like books that it's like kid's mind in a book.
Yeah, he was a very well respected child author.
Like a children's book author. Like A Princess Outsmarts a Dragon, breaks up with her bum of a prince and skips off barefoot and dirty to make her own happy ending. A mother rocks her baby to sleep every night and sweetly sings, I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. Boy yells clang, clang, rattle, bing, bang every night at the top of his lungs to protest bedtime. Like kids do those things to protest bedtime.
Yeah.
All these classic tales and nearly 100 others that line children's bookshelves around the world come from the brilliant mind of the author Robert Munsch. Since publishing his very first story over 40 years ago, the Guelph, Ontario writer has sold more than 80 million copies of his books in North America alone. Like I said, his books are in schools everywhere.
Yeah.
His stories have been translated into 20 languages, including, oh God,
A lot.
Anishinaabe, Arabic,
Any language you can think of has been translated.
and Swedish.
Yeah.
His publisher, Scholastic Canada, writes that he receives about 10,000 fan letters a year.
Yeah.
An author like Munsch is a mainstay on the bestseller list since the 1970s. Don't need to do press, but this year, as his latest book, I Can Fix It and Think Big, came out, he reached out to the next chapter for an interview. He decided to share some, and then this is where it kind of gets heavy. He decided to share some difficult news that he hasn't talked about publicly before. And I quote in this interview, he says, "I have ongoing dementia." Munch, he's 76 years old now. And the interview with Sheila Rogers, I can't drive, can't ride a bicycle, I can't write, so it's been really whittling away on who I thought I was. I kind of thought I would like to do this interview as a last hurrah. Munch said the diagnosis came as a relief since he could sense that something was wrong. My stories, strangely enough, are all there. Stories will be the last thing to go, I think. So that's kind of sad news. A beloved children's book author has dementia, and like a children's book author that is super popular is, like I said, his books are still on the shelves today.
Yeah.
Kids still love his books. Kids still want to check his books out of this library.
Yeah.
Like me and my sister growing up, we had a couple of his books on tape.
I read Berenstain Bears. That was my childhood books.
No, the Paper Bag Princess was the Paper Bag Princess, Thomas's Snowsuit.
Yeah.
Like those were like staples in like any household. Robert Munsch, when I eventually have kids, I'm reading them Robert Munsch.
Yeah.
Like he is 76 years old now. He's not gonna live forever. Like your heroes, heroes die. Heroes pass away. Heroes don't live forever. Robert Munsch is a hero to many people, to many kids around the world.
Yeah.
Fred Rogers, there was Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
For television.
Yeah.
We had Canadians had Mr. Dress Up.
Yeah.
And then so Bob Ross was for art.
Yeah.
And then there was Robert Munsch for books.
Yeah.
Children's books.
Yeah.
Like each of these people had an impact on how children grew up.
Yeah.
Robert Munsch's books will still be read like for years and years and years.
Oh, yeah.
And an author's work never dies.
No.
People will still be reading Robert Munsch. People will still be reading Harry Potter. People will still be reading Chronicles of Narnia.
Or people are still reading Lord of the Rings.
People still read Lord of the Rings. People still read Series of Unfortunate Events.
Yeah.
Robert Munsch will live on forever. And there will come a time where he does pass away, and that's life. You do pass away.
Yeah.
That's life. But it's sad when you hear that somebody's suffering from dementia. It is sad to hear that they're slowly losing their marbles.
Yeah.
And especially to a guy who writes creatively. He's a creative writer for a living.
Yeah.
That's his job. Make up stuff. And now he's probably on his last book, and he's probably not gonna do it anymore.
Yeah.
And good that he still does it.
Yeah.
I thought he ended like years ago.
Yeah.
So I found his book called Moose.
Yeah.
Which is literally about a moose that gets into the yard and the dad kind of takes out the hose. Kind of funny. It's kind of sad news.
Yeah.
On to the next. That 90s show. So Netflix has ordered that 90s show is a spin-off from Fox sitcom That 70s Show. Kurtwood Smith and Deborah Jo Rupp, who played the parents Red and Kitty in the original series, are set to return in That 90s Show. Netflix has ordered 10 episodes of the show, which will be a multicam sitcom like the original. And then here's a little blurb about what the series will be. In the new series, it's 1995, and Leah Foreman, daughter of Eric and Donna, is visiting her grandparents for the summer, where she bonds with the new generation of Point Place, Wisconsin kids under the watchful eye of Kitty and the stern glare of Red. Original series creators Bonnie Turner and Terry Turner and their daughters Lindsay Turner are on board as writers and exclusive producers, with That 70s Show alum Greg Metler also writing in addition to serving as executive producer and showrunner. We're getting That 90s Show. That's a thing.
This is something that never needed to be made.
No.
Ever.
I do like I tend to like things like this, but continuity wise, Eric and Donna never got back together.
No,
they never got back together. They were gonna get married, but then Eric didn't show up to the wedding.
Yeah.
And then they broke up for a bit, and then it was an on again, off again, on again, off again relationship between the both, but like they never got back together. Eric moved to Africa to become a school teacher.
Yeah. And
Donna, I don't know what Donna, she was a radio DJ.
Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be, initially when I heard of this, I thought, okay, well, they're just going to try and reboot the show. I didn't realize that they were actually going to try to continue the show. Which is, I would have rather them have tried to do not a spin-off of the show, but just have a 90s show. Like that 70s show, but that's not that 90s show.
Yep.
And have nothing to do with that 70s show. I would have rather have had that than this.
Like I do like the fact that Kitty and Red are coming back.
Yeah, they're also in their like 70s and 80s.
That is not 80.
I go look how old he is.
Not 80. There's no way he's close to being 80. He's 78.
Yeah. He's not young.
No. But he was never young to begin with in that 70s show.
I know. That's the thing.
And Deborah Jo Rupp is 70.
Yeah.
So they weren't young to begin with, though.
No, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna look right.
Well, they're going to be grandparents in the show. They're not going to be parents. They're going to be grandparents.
I really don't think this is going to be a good idea. I think this is going to be really bad. I think it's going to bomb. I don't have high hopes for this. I will probably watch it, but I don't have high hopes for this.
So you know why but you know the big thing of why that 90s show is coming out and how it's based in 1995? Because, so think about it. That 70s show came out in 1997.
Yeah.
And it's based in 77.
Yeah.
So that's like a 20-year difference.
Yeah.
Like this is like going to be like a 25-year difference.
Yeah. So
it's basically like kind of the same year difference. That's why they're kind of doing it just for.
I get that, but I don't know. Again, it's one of those things where I have to ask who was asking for this, because they can't be a vocal minority of anybody.
No, I think they wanted to do it for a long time. I do think they wanted to spin off that 70s show.
Probably.
Like they did, and it bombed, and it was called That 80s Show, and it bombed. It lasted like an episode. It was one episode, and Fox was like, no.
And then Netflix thinks this is going to be better.
I think it's going to be better because also That 80s Show never had the original cast. It was all new people that were terrible, terrible actors. Like,
Yeah, but as far as we know, this show is just bringing back Red and Kitty.
yeah.
No one else is going to be in it, as far as we know. I doubt Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis will be in it.
No. I don't even think Topher Grace and Laura Prepon are going to be in it. I think it's going to be just she's going to be living with her grandparents for the summer, and it's going to be just a bunch of other actors. There's nobody. I don't think nobody has signed on for this yet, except for Kurtwood Smith and Deborah Jo Rupp, Red and Kitty. But like, I think they're gonna try to make it its own show.
Yeah.
But have Kurtwood Smith and Deborah Jo Rupp there as kind of like an anchor to be like, this is where it started. This, like,
I guess they'll have to explain what the hell happened. Like,
oh yeah, and I'm pretty sure they will in the first episode, but we will have to wait and see. I remember when me and you talked about this like months ago.
Yeah.
When this was all hearsay.
Yeah.
And now it's an actual thing going to happen. I have hopes for this show. I do have hopes but will it last more than one season? We'll find out.
I'm setting my expectations very, very low for this. I don't think it's gonna do it. We'll see though. We'll see.
Gaming news. Grand Theft Auto is getting remastered.
I'm surprised you didn't put this on the list, to be honest with you.
And I was,
because it's one of those fucking things where like even seeing commercials of it, just like, yeah, we got a new game coming out. Yeah, what is it? We're remastering Grand Theft Auto again. It's been over a decade. Stop.
So, in further detail, Rockstar has revealed the existence of Grand Theft Auto, the trilogy, the definitive edition, which is a touched-up bundle of Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. No specific release date was given, but it's coming out on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox X, and Xbox Series S and X, Nintendo Switch, and PC later this year, and iOS and Android devices in 2022. There's still no footage of these weapons in action, but Rockstar said making across-the-board upgrades, including graphical improvements and modern gameplay enhancements for all three titles. But we will keep the classic look and feel of those games. Yeah.
Again, it's one of those things where it's like,
also, fans are still waiting for GTA 6.
That's what I'm talking about. It's been over it probably has been over a decade now since GTA 5.
Yeah.
People waiting for 6, and now you're going to be like, hold up, we're going to remaster 3 old games that no one really cares about anymore because we've been on 5 for 10 years.
Yeah, yeah. And like,
San Andreas was on fucking PS2.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Why?
Like, it's because a lot of like games from our childhood are getting remastered now, and
yeah, I know,
and it's just Rockstar Gaming getting on the bandwagon of doing that.
Literally 100%, yeah.
Like, and I mean, like GTA Vice City and San Andreas, and even those were like, I had fun with those games. A lot of fun with those games.
Almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
That's my whole thing. We're still waiting on GTA 6. Like I would much rather them just keep going with 5, keep adding shit to it, but at least let us know you're working on 6. Because it's been 10 years. It's like it's like Skyrim, like the Elder Scrolls. Like, yep. 5 has been out for 10 years. It's on your smart fridges at this point.
Yeah, yeah, really. Right. And like, yeah, I only put this in here because I'm just like,
yeah,
I was like, ooh, stuff.
Yeah, I know. I seen that today, and I'm like, I knew they were doing the remasters, but I'm just like, it just pisses me off. I just want to play GTA 6. Let me just play GTA 6. Release the new game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Playing 5 for 10 years. It's time for a new game. No more remasters.
And like, I haven't even played 5 because I know it's been so long. So
you want to remaster something, Rockstar? LA Noire.
Yeah.
Do a remaster LA Noire.
Yeah. Or do a remaster of like the first Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do fucking 3 games like people like revere as far as GTA goes, but like no one wanted these. No one cares.
It's a trip actually.
Yeah.
I was going through my, you know how you can go through your achievements?
Yeah.
You can scroll like a lot.
Yeah.
I scrolled to like the very first game I played on my Xbox 360 when achievements were started, and I'm just like, wow. Like I would not think, I forget what it was, but I'm just like, holy crap, that was the first game I played.
That was Peggle.
Peggle?
Yep.
Nice.
It was true because I had Xbox Live and I didn't have I had a game or two at that point, but like I was just on the game store and I was just I think my Xbox came with it on it or something like that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was like, what the hell is this? And I played it. I'm like, okay, this is pretty fun.
Yeah, yeah. Hold on, I can bring it up here. Achievements.
Yeah.
It's not really a long list. Yeah, my first game I have on this list is Sonic's UGC. And then SmackDown vs. Raw 2008, The Simpsons game, Fable 2, Soul Calibur 4, Oblivion, GTA 4, Terminator Salvation, Dead Space, DBZ Burst Limit.
I don't think you gotta say them all. There's a lot.
No, I'm not saying them all. I'm just saying like Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Duke Nukem 3D, like Dead Rising, Dragon Ball Z Raging Blast.
We had much better games 15 years ago.
I know. I know. Left 4 Dead 2 only because my buddy brought it over and we played it.
Yeah.
It was back when you could do that with games.
Yeah. Well, and you could system link.
Yeah. The Bourne Conspiracy, basically the video game based on the Bourne Identities game. Like, I'm just like usually every once in a while, like I'll go through like my Facebook wall and like scroll all the way down and like, hey,
I've never done that. That's too long. That's like 14 years.
Or like go through my Facebook profile pictures to the very first picture, or do something like that. But like I never did it with my Xbox games until like a couple days ago. I'm like, huh, that's a trip. That's a trip.
Yeah. Yep.
Next topic: YouTube Rewind.
Whoa.
YouTube is officially canceling the YouTube Rewind.
Thank God.
Video series following a decade of hits and misses on the platform. From bemused gamers to crazy celebrity cameos, that Rewind format has been ever evolving, but has received lots of backlashes and ridicule in the recent years. Established by YouTube, the popular video website in 2010, YouTube Rewind, a year in review, was the first official annual look back by the company. Simple top 10 list format of the most popular uploads of the year, YouTube Rewind was obviously a recipe for success and positive appraisal of the platform's wide spectrum of content. After tumultuous few years, Game Rants reports that a YouTube spokesperson has confirmed the series is canceled until further notice. Rewind 2018 went on to become the site's most disliked video of all time, causing YouTube to desperately seek a new direction, uploading a less extravagant list video in 2019 before missing Rewind altogether in 2020 following the global crisis faced by everyone. According to the site, YouTube Rewind, as fans know it, will no longer be a star-studded production montage, and the company will shift its focus elsewhere from 2021 as it hints at some form of interactive event instead. What do you think of this? You're more of a YouTube guy. I've never watched any of these YouTube
2018 was hilarious because that is the most disliked video in YouTube's history. But it's good they're canceling it. Get fucking rid of it because they want to say, oh, it's been hit and miss over the last decade. No, you had 2 hits. That was it. Every other fucking year was absolute crap because they started including people that 2018 had fucking Ninja in it, which he's a Twitch star. Yeah, it was all about Twitch people, and it's just like, no, this has nothing to do with YouTube. They weren't showing people who had different political views than they did. They weren't showing people, even if they had more. Which originally what YouTube Rewind was to look back on the most viewed videos, the most liked videos. In the last few years, it's been just kind of, well, if you are a Democrat and you are are popular, then hey, yeah, we'll show your video. Doesn't matter if you only have 10,000 views in that video. We'll still show your video because we can't show the guy. It's hard to explain this without calling YouTube just complete fucking morons, because they are. Like they completely ruined YouTube Rewind, and it was such a cool freaking video that they put out every year. And it was awesome. And it would show creators on there that were like top of their game, getting hundreds of millions of views every month. And then it just became a popularity contest, and that was it. And then it started having nothing to do with YouTube anymore. They had Will Smith on the last one.
Oh.
Just because he happened to have a YouTube channel, but never really uploaded, never had really any videos. And it's like, it used to be about the creators, then it became about the product placement, basically.
Oh, I see. Like, I never really cared for YouTube Rewind to begin with, because I don't watch YouTube for the YouTube stars. I watch YouTube because, like, gaming stuff, or like Family Guy clips, or Simpsons clips. Like, I don't watch like I never watched like any like Logan Paul or Jake Paul. I never watched any of those guys. I never watched like I don't even know, because like freaking
YouTube's my TV. That's what it is. YouTube is my TV. I'm subscribed to probably I don't even know how many fucking channels. I watched hours of it. I watched 3 hours of it today. 3.5, 4 hours of it today. Just today. Mm-hmm. Just watching like 20-minute YouTube videos, 10-minute YouTube videos. Watch 3 hours of it.
Or like I would watch clips of podcasts.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But
I'm glad they canceled it, because it went really downhill after, I'd say, like 2016. And 2018 was the worst year in history for it.
Yeah, I remember that, because I remember how much flack it was getting.
Yeah, it was.
That.
It was really bad. And then PewDiePie made a parody of it, which was awesome.
Yeah,
he just made fun of it completely. Like,
yeah, I heard about that too.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's all the news we have for you tonight.
Yeah,
on this Saturday night. Now we move on to a segment that we like to call On This Day in Film and Television.
Mm-hmm.
On this day in 1923, Disney Brothers Cartoon Studio founded.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. And in 1979, comedy sketch show Not the 9 O'Clock News debuts, starring Rowan Atkinson, aka Mr. Bean, on BBC Two. And in 1992, the year me and Derek were born, David Letterman celebrated its 17th 100 show.
Its 17th 100 show?
Sorry, 1700.
Oh, I was going to say 17, 100, 100. That's a lot of shows. Holy shit.
Also in 1992, Gilligan's Island TV pilot filmed in 1964 is first shown on television.
Jesus.
So the TV pilot in 1992 first shown on television in Gilligan's Island television show from the 60s.
Yeah, the pilot was shown on TV for the first time.
In 1992.
Yeah. There you go. You got that.
I made it to that sentence.
Yeah.
I
think that's it.
And that is all we have for you tonight. On this Saturday. If you want to follow me or Derek on anything, we are there at a Gingerfin92 and
at King Derek on everything.
And if you want to follow the podcast, we are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, YouTube, at A Brew for Two on Facebook.
Just search at A Brew for Two and look for the two glasses cheersing.
At A Brew for Two on Twitter, at A Brew for Two podcast on Instagram.
Yeah.
And that is it. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers, guys.